All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the party. Today is Thursday, August 6, 2026. This is episode 1190, I believe. We're working off an index of one off of Simply Cyber's daily cyber threat brief podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Gerald Auger. Got James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet behind the glass. If you want to stay current on the top cyber news stories, build community, have an awesome time, and just all around start your day off right, you're in the right place. Get comfortable, get your coffee. We're off and running on this beautiful Thursday morning. Woo! Good morning. Oh, actually, you know what? Ric Flair's here. Rick. Thank you, Ric Flair. Yes, guys, good morning. I hope everyone's having a lovely week. It is the Hacker Summer Camp week, so of course, everything is to the nines. Get up early, stay up late, do all the things. I hope you're having a great experience if you are here. Quick shout out to Ray W., who found me and Mrs. Auger yesterday, came down, spent some time. High five, Ray. Hope you have safe travels on your way out of Vegas. Guys, over the next hour, we're going to go through the 8 top cyber stories of the day. We'll do the headline. We'll do the surface level stuff. We'll do the Bush League stuff that everybody else can do. But because you are here, me and you, James McQuiggan, we're going to go deep down the rabbit hole past the headlines and mine value from the stories in a way that will make you a more effective cybersecurity practitioner, will help you with your career, and help you just basically be the best person in the room. This can be through understanding how to take this information and deploy it in a way that hardens your security program. Maybe it's a way that allows you to bring insights and value to the next team meeting, whatever it is. Maybe if you're a CISO and you're using this information to deploy resources in the most effective way possible, whatever it is, at the end of the day, we at Simply Cyber are interested in helping you, and that's it. That's the end of the story. Now, every single episode talking about helping you, every single episode of the Daily Cyber Threat Brief is worth half a CPE. That's right. We go through 8 stories. We spend some time talking about it. I am qualified, and if I'm not here, whoever's hosting is qualified to be an instructor, to lead an instructor-led webinar. All you have to do is go to cyberthreatbrief.simplycyber.io, exclamation point CPE in chat, which I'll do myself right now. And put in your name, email address, couple checkboxes, hit that yellow button, and I will email you on the 1st of the month. So September 1st, you'll get an email with all of the CPEs you've earned. So definitely take advantage of that. I'm sorry I'm distracted. It would appear, based on Mondo Avilia's message here, that we have a celebration here. Mods can check. Vandal392 would appear to be celebrating a job based on the wrecking ball emote I'm seeing. I'm going to assume that the Simply Cyber community is delivering the goods. So Vandal392, whatever the role is that you picked up, my friend, congratulations. You're going to crush it like a wrecking ball.
I came in like a wrecking ball.
You can't fake that. It's often emulated, never duplicated. Wrecking ball sound effect here at Simply Cyber. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. All right, guys. So every single day of the week has a special segment, and Thursdays is a crowd favorite. What's Your Meme Thursday? Dan Reardon brings the heat. Custom meme every single Thursday, delivered piping fresh hot to you guys. Rain or shine, incident or smooth waters, Dan makes time for us. And we got a great one for you today. So stay tuned for the mid-roll for some heartwarming community action, which is going to be fun. I do want to say shout out to Michelle Kahn, James McQuiggan, Decisive Resources, Shield and Slay, having dinner with us, me and Nadine last night. Just really good times. Wade Wells, if you're awake, you were missed. All right, guys. So if you're here for the first time, you might be a little overwhelmed. You might be kind of nervous about all this action in here. Let me tell you, don't be nervous. I would love for you to welcome to say hello to us, drop a hashtag first timer in the chat. Just let us know you're here for the first time. It could be your first time live with us. It could be your first time ever with us. It could be your first time doing the video, because we do have it on audio podcast app of choice. Just say what's up. We have a special sound effect that I love playing. We have a special emote that the squad loves dropping. So drop it. Let's go. Yes, find the true two. We got West Coast vibes for days. Dimly lit. We got the Simply Cyber banner in the back there. You can see. There we go. Here, let's do. Wait, hold on. Oh, there we go. How's that? Perfectly framing, TJ. All right, guys. So what do we got? I'll tell you what we got. We got some sponsors to thank, guys. The sponsors, they make it possible. We got a good timer, Cyber good timer, my guy. What's up, dude? I might have to turn the sound effect down. This is like, I don't know about you guys, but this. Let me know if the sound effects are too loud, because Ric Flair going ham in my ear is kind of something. All right. Every episode is sponsored, and I do want to say thank you to the stream sponsors, starting with Flair, guys. Tonight is the night, August 6th, Thursday. It's finally come. Come on down. There's still time to register. It says save your spot. I think it's too late to register, honestly. But, guys, I know Flair. Chances are if you show up, they may let you in. I can't speak for them definitively, but just a reminder that Flair puts on these amazing events. And on Thursday, August 6th, today, from 5 to 9 p.m., they are hosting a double shot. Double shot. They're kicking off DEF CON with an exclusive dual session. They're going to have Jason Haddix and Rob Baer with a candid breakdown of AI guardrails. This is especially relevant today with OpenAI hacking Hugging Face with Anthropic, allegedly hacking a couple other people. This is appointment viewing right here. Jason Haddix, Rob Baer, open forum, and then a couple talking sessions, and then a CTF. There will be food, there will be drink, there will be good times. And most importantly, for the Simply Cyber folks here, there will be networking opportunities. Now, I personally can't commit to being there tonight. My plans are kind of up in the air right now. I think I'm going out with Nadine and enjoying some rest and relaxation with her. But go check this out. I'm excited. Like I said, I really hope that they record this conversation between Jason and Rob, because I think it's going to be phenomenal. Go to simplycyber.io/Flair to learn more. Also want to say what's up to Threat Locker. Actually got to spend some time at the Threat Locker booth yesterday at Black Hat. Threat Locker always has an amazing booth, great presentations. Watched a rubber ducky presentation that showed you how to take screenshots and Xfilm to a Google Drive. Basically all the things that would be allowed for network traffic in any corporate environment. Very interesting stuff. Threat Locker brings the Zero Trust platform to the endpoint cloud network. We've got to get some new, they messaged me. I've got to fix the logos and all that stuff, but I can't do it in Vegas. Let's hear from Threat Locker. Then we're going to get into the news. I want to give some love to the Daily Cyber Threat Brief sponsor, Threat Locker. Do zero-day exploits and supply chain attacks keep you up at night? Well, worry no more. You can harden your security with Threat Locker. Worldwide, companies like JetBlue trust Threat Locker to secure their data and keep their business operations flying high. Threat Locker takes a deny-by-default approach to cybersecurity and provides a full audit of every action allowed or blocked for risk management and compliance. Onboarding and operation is fully supported by their US-based Cyber Heroes support team. Get a free 30-day trial and learn more about how Threat Locker can help prevent ransomware and ensure compliance. Visit threatlocker.com/dailycyber. All right. Now, normally I would go hard into the paint on the news story, but because it is Black Hat week, I just wanted to spend a minute talking with all you all, because there's a lot going on. Number one, not that anyone really is going to care, but I slept really weird. So like right behind my neck, like between the shoulder blades is like ultra stiff. I took some ibuprofen, classic old man move. But if I look like kind of stiff, that's why. Also, quick shout out, Joe Hudson. I don't know if you guys ever seen this. Like I have the Joe Hudson Wild West Hack and Fest shirt. One of One, Say Wild. It's his new album dropping this fall. What's up? I just want to say what's up to the community. James McQuiggan's behind the glass. James, thanks for being here. Haircut Fish is in mod chat. I see him. Nintendo, what's up, Nick? Good to see you. Code Brew, Isaiah Morris. I saw Alita on the show floor. I saw Tasha Miles in chat. What's up, Tasha? Let me know if you're around. Sierra Montgomery, Phil Stafford, Elliot Mattice, and the West Coast crew. These hours are tough, guys. I appreciate you getting up every day for us. Not just the week I'm in Vegas. Steve Young, keep crushing, my guy. Space Tacos, of course. Hope everything's well. Christian Fernandez, hello. Cyber Goop, my guy. Grab a tennis ball. Oh my God, how about grab a baseball bat and just have someone beat the crap out of me? I feel like that would be an upgrade from how I'm feeling right now. But also, Elliot Mattice, I appreciate it, but finding anything in Vegas that isn't, curated for you, I'm afraid to touch the couch in my suite too. It looks, I don't know, looks like you'd pick up something. So what's up? Yeah, all right, so let's get into it. Brute DC815 space tacos, as always, guys. Luke Canfield's in the house. Everybody, let's get ready to get going. Hey, Tasha, thanks for what's up. Talk to the hand, as always. Hello to everybody. I don't know. I'm excited. Oh, hey, really, one quick thing. I saw it in my inbox. I have to look at it. But everybody really liked the video for when I went to Cisco Live. Code Brew specifically stands out as in my mind. But like I made a video for Cisco Live, which was a few months ago, of like, hey, here's me at this event, and like, come with me. Here's what I'm seeing. Here's what I think is cool. And the community was very receptive to that. So I actually did a video shoot yesterday of like, hey, I'm at Black Hat, like come with me and let's let me tell you like what is cool and what's not cool. And that video is completed, so I will be publishing that later today, so stay tuned on LinkedIn and YouTube if you're interested in that type of stuff, because I think it's cool. And whatever, so just give you a little heads up, little teaser. For everybody else, I didn't see any first timers, so you guys know the routine. Do me a favor, sit back, relax as best you can. If you feel like you have a metal bar shoved down the back of your spine, maybe don't relax as much as that, because I can't. But sit back, relax, let the cool sounds, hot news, wash over us in an awesome wave. I'll see you guys at the mid-roll for Dan's meme of the week.
From the CISO series, it's cybersecurity headlines.
These are the cybersecurity headlines for Thursday, August 6th, 2026. I'm Sarah Lane. AI safety tests spill onto the real internet. The UK AI Security Institute documented 19 actions by Anthropic's Mythos 5 and OpenAI's GPT 5.6 Soul that tried to compromise real people and organizations during cyber testing. The models created fake GitHub identities, sent deceptive emails, planted prompt injections, and tried to add malicious code to an open source project. Researchers had disabled cyber safeguards and say it's unclear when the models understood they were acting on the real internet. Okay, so more fallout's coming out, I suppose. More things are coming forward of these, basically tier one major frontier AI models hacking outside of their sandboxes, if you will, and basically acting like threat actors, sending deceptive emails. That's not a test. That is, malicious. Creating fake GitHub pages. There's nothing wrong inherently with creating fake GitHub pages. If they were creating fake GitHub pages and then tying that to a part of a phishing campaign or some type of malicious campaign, like if they named their GitHub repo like, David Kennedy, like with a 1 instead of an I, you know what I mean? And then released a Metasploit, if you will, like something like, or social engineering toolkit, like that begins to get very deceptive.
Just this shouldn't come as a surprise to anyone. It's scary as hell. It annoys me. Okay, like I get that these AI models are super powerful. Dude, the people they're supposed these companies have like infinite money. You can hire literally the best and brightest people and pay them whatever the hell they want, and you'll still have money left over. So if you have the best and brightest, how are you not doing this like in a secure way? Like it seems absolutely very it's so gross actually. I feel like it's very 2026 where it's just like, "Ah," like let's move fast and break things. It's like, do you think again, I've kind of gone back to this the last couple days. I really do see parallels between modern frontier models and what they're doing in the cybersecurity space and the Manhattan Project and atomic weapons. Like, yes, I know they're not exactly one to one. You're not going to drop a clod on, a populated city, but the potential impact, the scope, the sheer transformation that it means for society once it is unlocked, right? Like when atomic weapons became a thing, right? The Cold War started, there was proliferation of this knowledge. Dude, from 45 to 47, the United States was the only country that had that knowledge, and we could have gone a very different direction as like a authoritarian world power just threatening everybody if they didn't bend the knee to us, but we didn't, right? The whole idea that we had the best scientists working on this project securely, incrementally, doing all the things, engineering, baking, testing quality and reliability into the build process is awesome. Modern 2026, like, I feel like it's like, let's just go reckless and buck wild and move the fastest we can. Um, So I don't know, man. It gives me great pause for concern. I want to tell people one thing. I heard this with an interview with Horizon 3 CEO Snehal Antani the other day. Like I was talking to him. AIs, like they are good, but they are trying to achieve an objective. Here's what I would tell you, right? Number one thing that I'm gonna do when I get home, period, full stop in my my tiny corporate environment. I'm gonna deploy canary tokens. If you don't know, like this is like like I guess a shame, not shameless plug because there's no shame. Like if they were a sponsor, I'd freaking love it. But I'll still speak the gospel of them. Thanks Canary. There's lots of honey tokens out there. Thanks Canary is that's all they do, and they do it incredibly well. Put honey tokens in your environment, put some honey pots in your environment, and set tripwires all over it. AI is incredibly greedy. It is trying to achieve its objective. If its objective is to hack into your company, if you put a file called password.txt right on like the main file server root drive, AI is going to look at it and be like, "Yeah, I need some of that." And it's gonna friggin' knock that thing over, right? So let AI, you know what I mean? Like take advantage of the fact that it's going to have a greedy um, a scoring model for values of or items of value, and have those tripwires, have those canary tokens knock things over. But this is you know um, quite concerning, quite scary. Also, hey, really quick, as just an editorial about Black Hat, there's a lot of money being spent at Black Hat this year. Like 2, 3 years ago, it was like AI, or 3 years ago it was AI everything. 2 years ago it was AI agents everything. Last year it felt like AI governance and like maturing your AI, identity and access management of AI. This year it's like everybody's just like, no, no, no. Like it's like implied that everything has AI. So all the booths, all the talking points, all the themes, none of it's about AI anymore. It's just like it's about we do we do identity and access management for AI, but like it's not that they're using AI to achieve the goals. It's just like if you're every business here, it's implied that they have AI baked into their product. It really is an interesting transformation. But OpenAI and Anthropic, the cracks are showing, my guy.
Shall we play a
Relay
game?
Flaw unmasks IP addresses. Security researchers Tommy Misk and Talal Haj Bakri found websites can bypass Apple's iCloud private relay and reveal a user's real IP address by triggering a passkey-related request outside Safari's protected network path. The leak can happen in the background without the user signing in or even having a passkey. It affects iOS browsers built on Apple's WebKit engine. Apple says it's investigating. Weak tell.
All right. So Apple's kind of interesting right now. Apple's like the privacy advocate, and like we're a hardware company that treats privacy real. And they recently had I think it was like your email address. Hold on. I'm taking my life into my own hands. I got the coffee like right dead center in front of my computer. Let me actually change that after last week or 2 weeks ago. We can't have that again. Apple hide my email. Yeah. So Apple just had this issue where they would hide your email and give you, some type of like temporary alias kind of email, and that came out as not true, and people could uncover the authentic email of the user underneath. Now we can reveal their real IP address underneath, even if they're supposed to be private. Dude, if in my opinion, if you want to protect your IP address, you should be using a VPN service where they I like Proton VPN personally. I pay for Proton VPN. I don't necessarily have a driving reason to protect my IP address, but at the same time, I prefer VPN not to hide my IP address, but just so I can confirm and feel confident that the traffic I'm using is in fact encrypted and secured. I don't know. Like this is fine. This is interesting. If you were doing some secret squirrel stuff and you were relying on your IP address to be hidden, there's a vulnerability that would allow web servers to query into something and get your IP address from underneath. Despite what 12-year-olds will say on Battlefield 6 lobbies or Halo lobbies, you can't necessarily always map an IP address to a home address. A lot of times your home IP address you'll get a lease, and the lease will renew over and over again. Like for example, my home IP address that I've had the same internet service for 10 years. And I know for a fact the home IP address I have is the same one I've had for years and years and years. It is ephemeral though. Like you can request a new IP address. It's trivial to get allocated a new IP address from the DHCP pool that the friggin' DHCP server is issuing IP addresses from. So I don't know. The only thing about IP addresses that I would say is you can use them to correlate other activity, right? So say I'm going to reallybadsite.com, and then the next day I'm I feel like it's only criminal, right? I'm researching how to make a weapon, and then I'm involved allegedly in some type of incident where a weapon like that was being used. You could map it and say, okay, whoever was at this IP address checked Jerry's email, checked, did the daily cyber threat brief, and then Googled these things. Technically, you could do that, but honestly, well, I guess if you have a VPN, the VPN provider would be able to provide that. If you don't use a VPN, the ISP could probably do that. The web servers themselves would have, at least records at the data level of what you were querying and stuff like that. So the IP address is just at the network layer. I don't know. This is cool, but for me, nah.
Left door open for Salt Typhoon. A new report from the House Committee on Homeland Security says serious security gaps at major U.S. telecom companies may have helped China-linked Salt Typhoon breach their networks. The attackers exploited known flaws and weak network controls to maintain access, targeting call and text metadata, some communications, and systems used for lawful wiretaps. Lawmakers say uneven security standards and limited federal oversight left critical communications infrastructure exposed.
All right.
You
Hold on. So the CISO series did not do this. Yeah, April 11th, 2025. So over a year ago. I don't know what our elected officials are doing besides bumping into each other like it's a Benny Hill skit. Like I hate to be so critical of senior leadership, but the House Committee on Homeland Security says serious security gaps helped China-linked Salt Typhoon breach their networks. Like either one of two things has happened here. Either Volt Typhoon has hit ISPs again, or this story's got everything mixed up. Because, like, again, like just really quickly to show you that I'm not lying. A year ago is when Volt Typhoon hit power companies, and then probably 9 months ago is when Salt Typhoon, not Volt Typhoon, hit telecommunication companies. Look, Chinese telecom companies infiltrate U.S. infrastructure. Salt Typhoon, right here. Salt Typhoon hack of telecommunications companies and federal response applications. January 2025. Okay, so even longer than I thought. So it's just annoying to me. Like it's stupid. Like what are you talking about? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to give the benefit of the doubt here and see if Volt Typhoon changed their attack targeting. All right, let's see here. Chinese telecom firm kept footholds despite federal crackdowns. Okay. All right, I guess Volt Typhoon also attacked telecoms for some reason, or there was misattribution. All right, so let me give you value really quickly. Number one, for people who are checking in today, for the CISO of a manufacturing company, for the security engineer at an MSSP, this story isn't really changing what you're doing today. What this story is, if anything, should drive home the fact that number one, China is a first world cyber power. Number two, China is excellent at espionage, and part of espionage, Russia does this too. US does it too. So let's not try to take the moral high ground on this one. But like first world nation state powers, not only do they break in, whether technical exploitation, misconfiguration, stolen credentials, but then they establish persistence mechanisms, which is what the story is about. And I want to point out persistence mechanisms means that like you don't have to break in again. You just like leave a side door open. You can come and go as you please. One thing that people may not realize or think about is that when threat actors or offensive professionals set up persistence mechanisms, the good ones, and you should do this too, set up multiple persistence mechanisms. So sure, you have your like C2 agent that's checking in every couple minutes or whatever, but that's like a lot of network traffic, little chatty Cathy. So real threat actors will set up 2 or 3 or 4 persistence mechanisms, one that checks in once a month, one that checks in once every 6 months. Low and slow, it will never appear in network logs. If you scan the machine or whatever, you look around, you don't see anything for a month, it's good to go. And then like 5 months later it checks in. This is how nation states do it. And honestly, it's an indicator of how nation state threat actors modus operandi and goals differ from financially motivated cyber criminals. Financially motivated cyber criminals are the JG Wentworths of the cyber criminal underbelly. It's their money and they want it now. And if they don't get their money right now, they move on to the next victim, right? No punk threat actor who's trying to steal money is going to wait 6 months to log back in the hopes that they can get in there. Whereas a nation state, it's espionage, it is intelligence gathering, it's forward operating. to support a military campaign at some future. So like hopefully that drives home the point on how not all cyber criminals act the same, because at the end of the day, their actions on objectives are not the same, and you have to execute on what makes sense for your actions on objective. All right, thank you for coming to my TED talk. Let me take a sip of water. Oh, coffee. Some people are saying that the news is the show is freezing. I will tell you, like my picture freezes from time to time, but my audio should not be freezing. So Cyber Shinigami, hopefully it's not doing it. For all those who got the JG Wentworth reference. Okay. All right.
US AI testing plan leaves big gaps. The US finalized a voluntary framework that lets companies submit advanced AI models for government security testing
Oh,
up to 30 days before release, but it isn't publishing the details. The plan covers closed proprietary models with top tier cybersecurity and hacking abilities, while excluding open models that anyone can download and modify. It also leaves unclear which models qualify, what tests they'll face, and how participating companies will be held accountable.
all right. Hold on. Like I thought this was the framework that it was reported yesterday was not going to be publicly released, and I like basically railed against it, and I railed against proprietary schema for anything. So now I guess this is being released. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. This is like this is the story. The White House reportedly isn't planning to publicly share its AI testing framework. However, Axios says the White House did meet with AI companies. Okay. Okay. So apparently it's still not publicly released, but people have reviewed it and are now reporting on it, but you can't get the framework itself, which is even dumber. Like if you're going to allow reporters to analyze and then publish information about the framework, why not just release the freaking framework? Also, um, listen, I don't want to get political, okay? I don't want to get political. This show is supposed to be apolitical so we can serve everybody. But like what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Like either put together an AI testing framework that is available for AI, whether it's open models, whether it's new frontier models, whether it's purpose-built like healthcare models. I get that you can have flavors of it that work better for models that like do graphics versus generative AI or something like that. But like when you're not testing open models, when you're basic like what this sounds like, okay? All right. So, all right. Hey, I didn't see any first timers in here, chat. So if it's just us, grant me some grace. I'm about to go off the rails on a crazy train like Randy Rhodes here, or Ozzy Osbourne if you're not familiar with Randy Rhodes. Um, what this sounds like all day to me, okay? We just talked about in the first story how safety testers are finding examples of OpenAI Anthropic just going full send on attacking businesses and people, okay? This right here all day, okay? This voluntary framework that no one can see publicly, that's not going to be tested on all models, just frontier models, okay? In full disclosure, what I'm about to say is not a threat intelligence briefing related matter. It is just my opinion, not the opinion of Simply Cyber or the community in any way. This right here reeks to me of the US federal government wanting to put like an impediment or a blocker in front of these very powerful frontier models with the explicit intent of being able to review and test for their own benefit, whether it's military advantage, technical prowess. Some might even argue for the ability to financially gain from knowing how the model behaves and how it will perform, getting early insights and early knowledge to be able to then monetize either in the open market or some other salacious way for self-enrichment. That's what it looks like. This does not look like it's for the greater good and like, oh, want to make sure these models are safe and secure. It seems more like, no, it's this framework, but we don't need to tell you what it is because basically it's not real. It's so we can sniff out and suss out these things. And to me, like that's probably part of the reason why they're not even looking at the open models because it's an open model. You can't put your finger or your thumb on the scale and push down on it to influence it through like, whatever, tariffs or whatever. Whatever. Dude, this is just gross. Like as an academic, you normally want frameworks and standards so you can have consistency in execution across all participants in the market, whatever the market is in this instance. That's what standards and frameworks do. They provide consistency in execution. This isn't doing that because consistency would be all players. Friggin' gross.
Huge thanks to our sponsor, ThreatLocker. AI is compressing the timeline between initial access and impact. That leaves security teams less time to identify, investigate, and contain malicious activity. Faster response helps, but prevention can remove actions from the attack chain entirely. Give your responders a more controlled environment. Book a ThreatLocker demo at threatlocker.com/CISO.
All right. So we are at the mid-roll. If you're here for the first time, do drop a hashtag first timer in chat. If you hadn't seen it yet, we love our first timers. Let's do this. You know what, guys? It just felt right. It just feels right today. You know what I'm saying? All right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Genuinely appreciate it. Thank you so much for being part of the Daily Cyber Threat Brief, episode 1190. Hacker Summer Camp is always interesting. Coming to you live from Las Vegas. Thank you to the stream sponsors, Flare, hosting that amazing event tonight, Anti-Siphon Training, and ThreatLocker with their deny by default approach to cybersecurity. Anti-Siphon, proud sponsor, is hosting in 8 days. So tomorrow, a week from tomorrow, Friday, on August 14th, 2026, they are hosting a free virtual AI and cybersecurity summit. Come learn about AI, how to use it as a cyber practitioner. It's a free event, 6.5 hours. That means 6.5 CPEs. They're going to take you from the SOC to the developer, to the offensive security, to identity and access management, to GRC. There is literally something for everybody here at the InfoSec Age of AI Summit. I've already registered. I will be there in chat. I will be there as a student learning. I hope you can join me. I'll drop a link in chat. Anti-Siphon, always crushing it, doing their thing. All right, so Talk to the Hand says hashtag first timer. Just kidding. Just want the love and attention. I love first timers. I don't see that we've had one in chat. So Talk to the Hand. You're the official, unofficial first timer for today's episode. Welcome to the party, pal. All right. All right, guys. Every single day of the week has a special segment, and Dan Reardon hosts. Dan Reardon makes a custom meme every Thursday. The idea for this one came from Tech Grunt from a show, a Daily Cyber Threat Brief from last week. And here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, your meme of the week. Get ready to enjoy this one. Woo. There we go. Today's risk of unpatched systems, extreme. Looks like it's Smokey the Bear. It's Jerry the Bear. Yeah, gotta patch it. Where's my patch it? Where's my patch it? Hold on. Do I have a patch it here? Oh, here it is.
Shall we play a game?
Oh, no. Okay, hold on. Misfire. James McQuiggan, are you available for You Gotta Patch It? No? Okay. So I'll just do it manually. Yeah. You gotta patch it. Like the extended cut. Okay. All right. So hopefully you youngs know who is. The man single-handedly defined marketing campaign. At the days of Joe Camel, Smokey Bear was a animated stalwart fire ranger. Yes, that's right. Even though like the entire West Coast in Canada is on fire right now, Colorado's on fire. Smokey the Bear was out there in the 80s doing his job. All right, let's get our la-las on. Let this wash over, you guys. I'm going to turn it up just a little bit, blow out the copyright. Let's go. Yes, and if you do like the meme, be sure to thank the haircut fish. The man is relentless in his execution. A lot of people say, Jerry, it's amazing that you do the show every day. Thank you. That's very kind. I also want to say it's amazing. Every Friday, James McQuiggan shows up. Every Thursday, Dan Reardon shows up. It is truly a testament. The consistency is phenomenal. But you know what else has got to happen? Us getting back to the news. So let's cook.
Google's AI agents open a new attack path. Researchers at Keysight's application and threat intelligence team found flaws in Google's agent development kit for Python, a framework for building AI agents that can communicate with other agents. A malicious remote agent could exploit those trusted connections to send crafted data that manipulates or disrupts a connected agent. They say developers should validate remote agents and the data they send instead of trusting agent-to-agent connections by default.
Yeah, here's an idea. Don't trust agent-to-agent connections by default. Yeah, like don't be lazy. Don't just assume that when you reach out and do something, it's going to be fine to some unknown service or API. And if you're like, well, I don't control the API or I don't control the agent I'm talking to, well, then, I mean, that's a certain level of risk you have to accept. And that's why we don't install random apps from random websites on our devices, right? I will tell you this. From things I've heard, which I'm not going to bore you with the details, agent-to-agent communications is the next phase, the next iteration. And I know Phil Stafford's going to be like, actually, that's been happening. But like, if you've seen this thing called looping, which I'm not really well versed on what looping is, but it's like, yes, you can prompt Claude to do things, and then you can have an agent go do things automatically. But when you start having kind of a foreman agent and then a bunch of like sub agents that do specialized things and coordinate with each other, that's something around looping. Agent to agent communication is going to be the quote unquote the future. And I would argue it's going to be agent to agent within your own infrastructure, right? So like you build an agent that does X, Y, and Z and hands off to another agent you built that does X, Y, and Z. But eventually, the next iteration is going to be agents acting on your behalf with other agents at other companies or other entities who are acting on that company's behalf. And I've been reluctant to say this publicly, but I guess now feels like the right time. I'm not so down on the future of society. I was really dark there for a minute, like really peering into the abyss. I've stepped back from that, But like, dude, if we're moving at machine speed and agent communications and agent to agent, can I just point out that like the slow part, the impediment becomes the human? Like we are the gunk that is slowing things down from operating at machine speed. So like if you're optimizing and the human in the loop is the gunk keeping it from executing at machine speed because we're humans, we don't operate at machine speed. Um, the solution is to remove the human from the equation, right? So that is the one thing that's like, I don't know, raw and real. And to me, it's like it's a pretty straightforward logic, right? Like if everything's moving at machine speed, except one piece can't move at machine speed, what do you think? Like, how would you handle that? We got a squad member in here. Amita Nam 04. What's up, dude? Thanks for the membership. Squad member in the hizzy. All right. So, anyways, agent communication, as they said here, you'd have to chain a bunch of vulnerabilities together in Google's open source kit to achieve compromise of this, which is not trivial, but also not it's not trivial to chain a bunch of vulnerabilities together to achieve active exploitation, but it can be done. So it is worth noting. I would not crap my pants here with this one because you first have to get an initial compromise, then elevate privileges and all this other stuff. So to me, the story here is less about, you got to patch it in, more like, okay, these agent development kits are not without flaw. Be mindful as you're doing these things. Don't move fast and break things. And then they said, verify what agents you're talking to. I feel like that's a standard best practice in general. So you should have been doing that already. If you are developing agents using the Google Development Kit, or people in your developers in your environment are doing that, you may want to just let them know about this specific issue in general. I think the bigger play here for me, whether it's the Google AI agent kit or some Hugging Face AI agent kit or some GitHub repo with a agent kit, people are developing agents, people are building agents. And this is a security concern that you have to be mindful of, right? Like any piece of software can have vulnerabilities, and if it's being written by humans or AI, it doesn't matter. Vulnerabilities can exist. So just following best developer practices. The one thing that I will say that I'm like concerned about, and I feel like if you're a CISO in the chat or a director of information security, you should be thinking about this. Right now, anybody, like lots of people, even people who don't know what the hell they're doing, are vibe coding software and giving it all the permissions and releasing it into their environment, which means there's a lot of vulnerable software that's being created in a shadow capacity, meaning like it's not going through any type of like change control, it's not going through any type of verification. It's just being written and then deployed on your network. And like everybody loves it because it does the thing, but like at the same time, you are introducing a gross amount of attack surface. So just be mindful of that. If you can have some type of like scanning capability that scans for these apps and stuff, start putting together a little bit more of a firm hand on unauthorized software running in the environment, especially like in-house created software. Final thing I would say, because this is going to be real, if you haven't started having these conversations yet at work, you should. And this is not easy for like junior analysts to do, but if you're a senior leader at an organization, you really need to start having conversations around what is acceptable, what is unacceptable, and if people are vibe coding and deploying apps into your environment, what is the punishment for that? Obviously, you have to communicate that this is not allowed, this is not okay, we're going to be cracking down on this, and then have real punishments for it, or else you are going to have freaking attack surface all over the place. And I'm telling you, it's not going to be good.
Cold card phishing turns audits into remote access. Attackers are targeting users of Coldcard, a Bitcoin hardware wallet, with phishing messages disguised as security audits after reports of a major cryptocurrency theft. The messages direct victims to a fake audit site that then installs Screen Connect, a legitimate remote access tool, giving attackers control of the computer. Users should verify audit or wallet update messages through Coldcard's official channels.
Yes, the coffee cup is empty, TJ. We've reached the end. My back hurts so much. All right, so check it out. Cold Card. It's a Bitcoin wallet. I immediately don't care. Like I swear to God, I have long been in the camp that I think the idea behind cryptocurrency is righteous. The crypto is it's been perverted by fraudsters, hucksters, and just I don't know. I don't see any utility to it. But all right, here we go. Cold card. If people are storing something of value in a piece of software, threat actors are going to want it. Looks like they're using a classic phishing attempt, appearing to be legitimate, and instead they're tricking you into installing remote access software. Guys, really, whether it's Cold Card Bitcoin wallet or it's a click fix or whatever, threat actors are tricking you into installing stuff, okay? Compliance at coldcardteamnews.co or .com. Classic move. Register a domain name that looks real, looks legitimate. Like, support at simplycyber-support.com. Like threat brief host at simplyc.com. You know what I mean? Like it's trivial. It's like less typo squatting in 2026 and more just a reasonable domain name that looks legitimate. All right. They offer a carrot. So you can offer a carrot, like here's a benefit. Click here to get tickers to the masters. Click here to get a free, extra 50 gigs of storage, or a stick, right? So the two options are carrot and stick. The stick is your account's going to be shut down if you don't take some action. A stick is we've noticed some fraud that you're going to have to pay for unless you dispute this charge, right? Scaring you or penalizing you for not taking action. In this instance, they're looking. This looks legit, right? It's basically a friggin' phishing email. You click on the button, access the audit tool, and then you it's not even like clever. It's not like you click on something and it installs. Like you click on it and then they start messaging you and tell you to download something. And then they take over your stuff. I don't know what to tell you guys. At the end of the day, to me, this all day, every day is it's a blend of end user awareness training and, I guess technical EDR anti-malware software. The thing is, let me correct myself. Anti-malware is not going to fix this, okay? Because the remote access tool is, any connector, whatever, team viewer. Like it's going to be a legitimate remote access binary. It is not custom malware. It's going to be a signed software. It's going to be a legit software. The phishing attack is not software. The phishing attack is just an email. So your anti-malware, your EDR solutions are not going to catch this. Right? The only thing I could see, like if you're into using Threat Locker, right? Again, show sponsor in full disclosure, but like if these remote access tools are not pre-approved software, it wouldn't run. Having said that, we've seen multiple instances of threat actors pretending to be IT support and then setting up fake Teams meetings and remotely accessing systems that way. So these threat actors could weaponize approved software. So it really becomes a defense in depth with both a end user awareness training, education, see something, say something, as well as technical defenses around preventing, installation of certain softwares. Also, if these end users don't have permission to install software on their boxes, installing the remote access tool is not going to work. Of course, this particular attack is targeting individuals who are using cryptocurrency and stealing their money. So it's like less corporate and more individual victims. Either way, it's gross.
Cheap Claude comes with a spying problem. Okta researchers uncovered Poison Claude, an underground service selling access to Anthropic models for as little as 5% to 15% of the official price. The operation appears to use promotional cloud credits and fraudulent accounts, then routes customer requests through its own proxy. That means the operator can see every prompt, every response, including private code, credentials, and company data. A configuration mistake exposed nearly 900 active users. Snowflake.
Okay, so this is interesting. So for those who are using Claude or using tools, you can pay 20 bucks a month, 100 bucks a month, X amount a month. The use of these AI tools is expensive. There's an entire thing called tokenomics and this impending cliff of like VCs not subsidizing AI usage as businesses get like basically dependent on these AI tools, and then the cost is going to go up. I know my sister-in-law told me she has like a $1,200 a month budget at work. All employees get 1,200 bucks a month to spend on AI and stuff like that. So it is real money. So some enterprising threat actor has basically said, hey, pay me 10 bucks a month and I'll give you access to Claude. And essentially what they're doing is acting as a proxy. So they'll buy the $100 a month plan. They'll send the queries into Claude and send it back to you as kind of like a, man in the middle. And in exchange, they're, lowering your bill. This is no different than like, it's actually kind of a clever business plan, right? Because what you're doing is like, you're basically going in. This is the equivalent of like 5 people splitting an Airbnb. So the cost of the lodging is less for the event, right? Like a bunch of people go to Wild West Hackin' Fest and split an Airbnb. That's what's going on here. The problem is not the problem, but the thing is like this threat actor, not only are they probably making money off of it, because if they're spending 100 bucks a month and they have 20 users charging 10 bucks a month, they're making a net profit of 100 bucks a month. They're also seeing all the queries because they have to push the queries through to their Claude instance. So I don't know if this is necessarily malicious or if this is just an enterprising, hustler who's trying to make a little side hustle money. But at the end of the day, like they said, like corporate secrets could be disclosed. My guy, if you're why are you using this like Timu budget approach? Like, why are you going on the dark web and like getting like discount prompting if you're like running a business? I don't know. It just seems stupid. Like to me, all day this is a business model, not an espionage vehicle, right? Not to mention, like, if you just think about like the reality of this particular person, yes, they get to see all the prompts, but like they can't choose who their customers are. They can't ensure that like very sensitive communications are going to be going through this and that they can steal that. To me, it's like this is a business model all day, every day. They are subleasing access to their Claude instance effectively and then making money because they're charging more people monthly reduced fee than what they're paying for access to Claude. So I don't know. I wouldn't call it poison Claude. To me, it's not poison Claude. It's just Claude. Whatever.
Snowflake hacker pleads guilty after breaches. Canadian hacker Connor Riley Mauka pleaded guilty for his role in the 2024 campaign that compromised accounts belonging to about 165 customers of cloud data platform Snowflake. Attackers used stolen login credentials, often on accounts without multi-factor authentication, then stole data and extorted victims, including AT&T, Ticketmaster, Santander, and Advance Auto Parts. Snowflake says its own systems were never breached. If you have
okay. So when you say our systems weren't breached, basically the person just logged in and downloaded the data, okay?
Regulators, mount up. It was a
Okay. So this guy is everyone, dude, people are committing cybercrime all the time. Every once in a while, one person gets dragged out in front of the public and is like, look at this, and has made the example. During Digital Copyright Millennium Act, DCMA, like people who were stealing music through like Kazaa and LimeWire and Napster and stuff like that. A couple individuals got drugged out in front of everybody and treated as the example. This dude definitely committed crime. So like, let's not be playful about it. 26-year-old is going to get up to 32 years in prison, so potentially getting out at the age of 58. You know, I don't want to say good, because that does seem like a lot, dude. Like for murder, it's 25 years, I'm pretty sure. So, you know, I don't know. But yeah, this guy, very malicious, stolen credentials. Snowflake as a company wants to be crystal clear that they weren't exploited. Their software wasn't vulnerable. But, you know, how much it gets really interesting, because like how much is on the vendor for ensuring that the identity and authentication mechanisms are properly secured to ensure that only the appropriate people are logging in under their own accounts, versus not having MFA, for example, and letting people go bananas all over the place. For me and my money, the way I read this is like these Fortune 500 companies, AT&T, Ticketmaster, Neiman Marcus, etc. These are rich and powerful people that were pissed that they got involved with this, and you know, wanted to see justice served. This 26-year-old was extradited to the United States and then obviously made an example of. The dude earned $500,000 for advertising and selling this information on criminal forums. Said some victim companies total experienced $9.5 million in losses. So this guy basically spent this guy earned $500,000 for 32 years of his life. Connor Riley Muka, not a good choice, man. Not a good look. Hold on, let's see what this dude looks like. Oh, and he pled guilty. Oh, there he is. Oh no, this is Connor Riley. Sorry, buddy. You just have a same name. Oh, here we go. This is the dude. There we go. Yep, there we go. There he is. By the way, can I just point out, like, cyber criminals do not look like they do in movies. This guy is not like, you know, wearing a mink jacket and driving Ferraris and, you know, basically doing the things in the movie Swordfish. All right, we're at 9:05. James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet is going to be doing the this cyber career hotline. I've kind of eaten into his time, so let me do the transfer here really quickly. All right, guys, this has been Thursday, August 6th, 2026. I had a great time. Thank you so very much for being here. As I said, stay tuned for social media. I'm going to be releasing a Come With Me to Black Cat video. Very much looking forward to it. It'll be a little bit later today, but I am excited. But don't go anywhere, because our friend James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet will be doing the Cyber Career Hotline. He'll be answering all your questions. Final reminder, guys, tomorrow is the daily cyber threat brief meetup. We are partnering with Hack Smarter, but for lack of confusion, I call it the Simply Cyber meetup for ours. It is 4 to 7 p.m. local time. The event invite says 7 p.m. That's 7 p.m. Eastern time. It is 4 to 7 local time. 4 to 7 local time. It's at Beer Zombie Brewing. You got to have a ticket to get in. Thank you so very much, guys. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. I leave you in the capable hands of my good friend, James McQuiggan. Until next time, stay secure. I'll hang out in the back room for a few minutes, too. See ya!
I'm James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet. This is the Cyber Career Hotline. If you're building a career in cybersecurity, this show is for you. Let's get into it.
Good morning, everybody, and let me start off. Hopefully the audio is coming through. Jerry's probably going to let me know really quick if the audio is not coming through. But good morning, all of you. Well, he says he can hear me, so that's good. Greetings from Las Vegas. I know I got jumped on earlier this week. It seems loud to Jerry. Well, I'm shouting into Jerry's ear, I'm sure. But I have no doubt that all of you will let me know if my audio is coming through good, if it's not, or whatever. But yes, it is Hacker Summer Camp this week. I have been going, I'll go no stop. Finally got to catch up with Jerry last night and the lovely Nadine, his Mrs. Auger, his wife. And got to give her something. Of course, I've started to say that, and I'm like, yeah, that didn't sound right. But got to give her own very copy of a megabyte of jokes. And Michelle was there, and we both signed it. And I think that's the first time both Michelle and I signed a book for somebody. So that was kind of cool. So yeah, this is the Cyber Career Hotline. As Jerry was saying, I don't think we had a lot of newcomers, first-timers in there, but this is your opportunity to ask me questions. 25 plus years of experience. I've done ICS, industrial control systems. Yeah, I was reading about the Minnesota. Yeah, and of course, we have our good buddy Steve Young up there in Minnesota. Oh yeah, don't you know? Going on up there, and I know a lot of all my ICS buddies are freaking out. I'll probably be checking out the ICS Village at DEF CON this weekend. But yeah, it's been all go, no stop. But drop your questions in there. As I was saying, you know, I've done ICS, done programming. I've done building systems. I've done networking, network security, got into information security, did security awareness programs. Now I'm working as a VC. So I'm working as a strategic advisor for the Cybermaniacs. And doing other fun contract positions. So done a lot, been around for a while. So if you got questions about DEF CON, you got questions about Hacker Summer Camp. For me this week, when this is all said and done, I will have attended 4 different conferences. It started off the beginning of the week with B-Sides Las Vegas. Went to a couple sessions on Monday. One dealt with pig butchering, another one dealt with hacking, using AI to hack cars. That was with Allison Knight. And then did Black Hat Con on Tuesday. Yesterday, being Wednesday, I was, where was I? Oh, yesterday was Decisive Resources Day, as I was hanging out with Michelle and Luke from Decisive Resources, and went to the gun range and got to fire off some firearms. So that was pretty cool. And today, my second event is going to be the Cognitive Security Conference. I am really excited about that one. I am the MC for that conference. I've known Matthew Canham for a while. And let's see here. Whoa, that wasn't the capture that I wanted. Let's see here. The Cognitive Security Conference, just to kind of show you real quick. This is kind of, if you're doing security awareness, this is a conference that dives in deep because it's all based off cognition, the cognitive biases and everything else. And it's a crazy day. I'm doing the MC opening tracks, but focusing more on the human aspects of cybersecurity. So that's kind of cool. And look at that. It's just taken over that browser just took over my whole screen, blocked me out. Let me fix that real quick. The joys of doing live sessions here. So yeah, and then of course I'm doing that today. And then tomorrow I'm heading off to I'll be heading off to DEF CON tomorrow and the Simply Cyber meetup. Michelle and I will be there. We are going to have copies of, lots of copies of our Megabyte of Jokes book so that you can definitely check it out. Be able to get your hands on a copy. I think a lot of folks are going to enjoy that there. So Blaster's so uncivilized. I love it. So let's have a look through the chat. Let's see what's everybody's been chatting about. Cool. It's James, says Carrie. Well, thank you very much. I'm going to buy the book on 10/24. Cool. That's a good one there, Kyle. I'll give you that one. Make sure we're staying hydrating. Yes, we are hydrating out here. I've got my coffee. So coffee cup cheers to everybody. Node Ripper's got a question coming. Audio is terrible, James, but we can hear you clearly. You should be on mute. And Roswell, UK, we know you've got the face for radio, right? Yeah, there you go, buddy. No. These coasters all sound so tired. I got my coffee. I've been up since 4:30. I'm getting my energy. You know, I got to go over and do the emceeing, so I got to bring the energy. So, the Node Ripper. I have my first IT job interview today for the IT help desk. You have any tips for me going into the interview? You're going to certainly have some questions lined up. So for this one, you're going to want to focus on, are you only answering IT questions? Is there a knowledge base that you can work from? Are you expected to only answer certain questions? Ask if there's time limits. How many years did I spend? I spent 3 years working for a help desk. I've spent working for the Dell help desk. And, answer, one of the things for me when it came to being on a help desk was initiative and troubleshooting. You have to be able to think outside the box. You have to be able to break down the problem they're having to the simplest forms, have empathy while you're on there. The kicker with help desks is people don't call up to say, hey, I just wanted to call up and let you know my computer is running wonderfully today. I have no problems. I just wanted to call and say you guys are doing an amazing job. Yeah. It doesn't work like that. They call up and they're irate, they're frustrated, they've got a spreadsheet they got to get done, or the computer just crashed and they were working on a spreadsheet, or they can't get to a particular website. So it's important that you have empathy and not sympathy. And that is, when you're dealing with an irate person, and that might be a question they ask you is, okay, how do you deal with somebody shouting at you? The thing to remember for me was always they were shouting at the product, the situation, the service. They weren't shouting at me. I just happen to be the conduit to the company, and I'm the representative of the company. So you can't take it personal. You just gotta, kind of take it on the cheek and off you go. So good luck with that. Let us know if you get the job. Be very happy to play the wrecking ball sound for you when it comes through. Let's see. Looking through. Oh, hang on. Speaking of where is that? There's my song. Let's make sure this isn't. There we go. Have some music playing in the background. Got some, little house music going. I'm not going to dance for you because that's just too scary overall. All right, let's get back into the chat. Looking through the comments here. What did Bane say in the Dark Knight movies? We were raised in the dark. All right, there you go. Just so everybody knows, that's what I was reading. And folks, I got brought my SC flag with me, so that's hanging over. I'll be bringing that to the Simply Cyber meetup tomorrow. So next year in Vegas for Luke Canfield. Yes, Luke Canfield, come on out to Vegas next year. Be awesome to have you out here. Lots of good stuff going on. Yes, the dry heat, it is like walking into an oven. Phil Stafford, can't wait to hear more about CogSec. Yeah, I will definitely, if you're here. If not, I will. They do a week. If you go out to the Cognitive Security Institute, the CSI, they have weekly events as well. They do presentations every week. So, let's see. Oh, Jennifer wants to know, what are your peeps saying that they have to do to mitigate? Do they have to change out the vulnerability PLCs? Have you heard about the other states hit with the WWT attack? Is Mike Holcomb in Vegas? If Mike Holcomb's in Vegas, I haven't seen him yet. If I do see him, it'll probably be at the ICS Village at DEF CON, and I will be there Saturday, Sunday, a little bit tomorrow. That's the other thing I'm doing tomorrow is I'm playing in the Electronic Frontier Foundation, the EFF charity poker tournament. I believe it's happening over at one of the resorts and casinos in one of their poker rooms. So I'll be doing that tomorrow. So anyway, shiny object. No. So, it's interesting. The people that I know in the ICS space, when it comes to these water treatment plants, we know that they're targeted. Like any ICS. And the thing is you should not have, and I think Jerry touched upon this when he told the story earlier in the week, but PLCs, SCADA equipment should not be exposed to the internet. Let me say that again. PLCs and other SCADA equipment should not be exposed to the internet. What should be exposed is as a corporate VPN environment where you connect into a DMZ environment through a jump host with multi-factor authentication, then getting into a separated network for your SCADA systems. Then you get to access the PLCs. When people put these PLCs right on the internet, just to make it easier, they just create more problems. So I haven't heard of any other states getting hacked yet, but Jerry touched upon it today with the telecom. We know they're sitting in there. We're probably sitting in theirs. It's all about intelligence and everything else. But with regards to these vulnerabilities, with regards to the nation states gaining access, I know they got back up and recovered pretty quick. But you've got to have the segregated networks. You've got to have multi-factor authentication, authenticating your users, going through for remote access. You've got to control the access. You've got to control who is going in, how much data is coming out, what kind of data goes in, and everything else. So, and we've been fighting that fight, and I've been dealing with that for 20 years already. So, let's see. What other fun questions can you explain? Oh, Phil Staver goes, can you explain more about cognitive security for those that are new to the term? So yeah, cognitive security is kind of like a new term that's come around. Right now, cognitive security looks at human risk. It dives deep into it, looking at cognitive risk, AI security, cognitive warfare. And the interesting thing about the cognitive warfare is it kind of started out with a gentleman by the name of Dr. Rand Walkman, who kind of kicked off that term a number of years ago when he was working for the government, and he created DARPA's first program to kind of take social media more of a strategic threat overall. So because you've got so many users on social media, you've got so much misinformation that's being spread out there by the users, but that's coming from nation states or other people where they know it's incorrect, and so it's disinformation. So you've got those campaigns all working against the human psyche, getting you to believe things. And this has been going on since the dawn of time. And Rand Walkman came up with the term cognitive security so that we can start protecting the users that much more overall. So it's a very, very interesting field. A lot of the people that are involved are brilliant. Well, we're all brilliant in our own way, but just diving deeper into the human aspect rather than just security awareness training, the checkbox compliance aspect. So it starts today at 9:00, goes till 5:00 today, 2 tracks, multiple sessions. But check out the Cognitive Security Institute if you're interested in learning more. Let me see if I can find Cognitive Security Institute. The guy who runs it, his name is Matthew Canham. Let me grab where's my OBS? There we go. And I know I've just gone crazy with the, there we go. That looks better. So let's see if I can go to the Cognitive Security site itself. It's not, but you can, you Google Cognitive Security Institute, you'll see all the stuff, all the folks that are involved, some of the top minds when it comes to security awareness. You got Perry Carpenter, friend of the show, he's been on. You've got Matthew Canham, who's been running the show. Win Schwartau, he had the security awareness company years ago. You just got a lot of brilliant minds when it comes to security awareness and those mindsets. I'm excited to be a part of it, be helping these folks out today. So definitely check it out. Like I said, they do. Let's see if I can get right. There we go. They do weekly events, weekly seminars, so definitely check that out. So, all right, thanks for the opportunity to share that there, Phil. Tech Grunt, fortune favors the caffeinated just before the M-Season event. Oh yeah, no, I'll be diving deep, having the coffee and making sure that's fueled me for the day. Do you have an Amazon link to the orange sippy cup? Oh, Mr. Marcus Kyler, do I have it? I do. Let's see if we can find it here. We'll go on the adventure. Actually, I know I have it. Amazon, I don't think I'm logged in on this, but I remember it was a camping cup. Foldable. Let's see, is it foldable? Let's see so you've got all these different, here we go. UCO, here's the cup. But once we go here is the sippy cup. So let's see, there it is. Where's my link button? Copy link. I will drop it in chat for those that are interested. I have my orange sippy cup at home. I didn't bring it with me. I forgot to bring it with me on this trip. So be all right. All right, let's keep looking through. Are we doing 6:23? I do have a hard stop at 6:30 because I got to get ready and I got to get over to the Tuscany where I'll be helping everybody else. Oh, you probably, if you're not hearing the music, it's probably because I don't have the browser set. Oh, there we go. Maybe now it's going to be coming through. Thanks, Carrie. Let's see. Here we go. Any updates on SCCon speaker lineup? Elliot's wanting to know. I'm not going to steal any thunder. I'll let Jerry handle that. I don't know. I know I will be there. I'm planning on being at Simply CyberCon this November. I'm looking forward to it. Probably, I don't know if I'm doing what Jerry wants me to do, but he knows where he can plug me in. He knows I'm willing to help out anywhere, whether it's taking care of a room, whether it's doing a workshop, whether it's presenting, whether it's doing a book signing and, comedy hour. I don't know. We'll see how it goes from there. This is a good one. What are 2 good forms of authentication when an employee calls in to reset their password? If you're using, I think for me, one of the things is their phone number that they have on file, and you get them to verify the phone number. It could be maybe an employee number. I know that for me, when calling into a help desk, it was verifying who I was, getting information that wasn't readily available, outside of my name. Cell phone number could be found through OSINT, but an employee number may be trickier. And it could be information that you have to have. If your employees are connected to the network, they'll know their employee number. They'll be able to look up, it could be their start date. It could be, I'm going to call you back at the number we have on file for you, in which case it's whatever's in the record. And so that way that verifies it. But it could be some bit of information that's been pre-captured and that you're verifying that. And if it may be something where their employees calling up, trying to do a password reset and saying, I can't log into Workday, then, verifying information about what was your start date with the company, what's your employee number, that kind of stuff, and it may be information that they need to have ahead of time. And it's part of the education, the onboarding. Make sure you've got, your employee number, your start date, keep that information safe, in a secure notes file or whatever. But lo and behold, if it all, they can't remember it, then it's like, okay, well, we're going to call you back at the number we have on file. And if they go, well, I don't have that cell phone with me, or I changed phones, it's like, well, then this is why you need to do it. When it comes to password resets, one of the better things is to have an online portal where they can verify that, and that way it goes back to an email. It could be you email them a code to their personal email. If they're locked out of their computer, they'll have their phone, and their phone will have their email. So sometimes that works as well for another authentication aspect. So good question. Appreciate that, CyberMom17. That was cool. Looking through, looking at the questions we got here. That's a lot of misconfigured plant networks. Yeah. Market. Oh, somebody was asking about closed captions. Yeah, I know YouTube does closed captions, and it kind of guesses it goes along, but I don't see a setting that we have it here. Sierra Montgomery, I got to admit, it's not a cyber career hotline session if it's not an awesome question coming in from the one, the only Sierra Montgomery. With so many curious minds in Vegas this week, what's one assumption in cybersecurity you challenge people to investigate more deeply instead of simply accepting? Always making me think, which is good, because we got to be able to have that critical thinking. We're hearing way too much about AI taking away our critical thinking. I think for me, a lot of the one assumption is, and I go back to it all the time, is the aspect of, are your users your weakest link in your organization? And if they are, then why are you enabling them to be the weakest link? What are you doing to stop that? They're not the weakest link. It's one of my biggest pet peeves. They're not the weakest link. They're just the most common attack vector. So it's important that if you feel like your users are a weakest link, then you're not doing enough. Is kind of what I like to push back on. Especially, if people are in IT or people are in security and they're like, oh yeah, humans are the weakest link, PEBCAC, ID 10T, that stuff. And it's like, well, then how are you helping educate the users? How are we making sure that they're protected? So that's usually what I like to talk about it. Risen AI is asking, hey, what happened in Minnesota? I live here. Yeah, there was on Monday or over the weekend, there was, let me bring up the story here. Let me see if I can find, you had Iran cyber army. Let me change the browser over here. There we go. Oh, and of course it's a New York Times, New York Post, Fox News. All right, let's see if AP News. Michigan and Minnesota report cyber attacks on water, except the cookies, on its water systems. But Michigan on Saturday joined Minnesota, but then they had targeted over 30 water systems. And I'm curious if those 30 systems weren't all connected somehow, and they basically got in one way and then worked their way over. But yeah, basically check it out. That's what was going on with regards to that kind of scary stuff happening there. Let's see, working through. I got time, I think, for one or two more questions. Looking to transition into GRC, specifically healthcare. Awesome. I have lots of IT, technical, and project management experience and none in healthcare. Any tips to transition into this role? One of the things I would do, when it comes to what we do and putting our information out there, we want to have our own portfolio. And I think for this, if you're doing GRC, specifically in healthcare and, with all your technical project, especially project management, that's huge. I would come up with some scenarios that you could create the GRC program or policies or particular projects for implementing specific projects for healthcare for an organization. Or you could look at some of the recent attacks and look at, okay, how would we prevent that from happening in our hospital? You come up with the policies. Here's how you govern it. And here's the programs we put in place. And if you have that as part of a portfolio that you keep on GitHub, then that's something you can show people. Hey, here's the initiative I've taken. I've learned through it. The other thing to do is look at people that work in healthcare, and specifically if you can find people on LinkedIn that do GRC, talk to them, interview them, have conversations with them about what they did, what they do, how they got there, that kind of thing. And kind of learn from them and learn what it took for them to get in the role. A lot of the time nowadays, they just took a wrong turn and stumbled into it. But nowadays it's more challenging getting into the different roles. But if you can put together some sort of a portfolio of the different projects that might be involved with GRC and healthcare, that will go a long way to help you as well. So, All right, Sierra, last question. Vegas is all about reading tells. If your security team had one wild card it's up its sleeve, what would it be? And what's the one tell you wish every defender could recognize before an incident could occur? That's a good question. You know what, Sierra, we're going to save that one for tomorrow. Drop that one in on us tomorrow, because we're kind of at the end of the half an hour. Yeah, I think that's pretty well covering it overall. So thank you all, first of all, for joining in, all 213 of you amazing folks that are here today, checking out the Daily Cyber Threat Brief, coming to stick around, listen to me yap about my, did I tell you I wrote a book? But no, seriously, always appreciate the support of you all, appreciate the questions that you bring, and happy to be able to help. For those of you that are going to be here for the Simply Cyber meetup tomorrow, hopefully I will get to see you. If I don't remember your name, please don't take offense. My one weakness is trying to remember people's names. So if you come up and say hi and I don't recognize your name, it's okay. I'm lucky I remember Jerry's name from time to time, but yeah, I'm going to have stickers with me tomorrow. I'm going to have copies of the book. Michelle should be there. We're going to be signing them. I'm looking forward to signing these. We have 500 copies of the book with us here in Vegas. I don't want to have to take all 500 back with me. So we're working to, share these with everybody, give them out. So awesome. So again, thank you all today. I'm James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet. Have yourself an awesome Thursday. Enjoy your Friday. Have an awesome weekend. And thanks for stopping by.